Good morning.
Hello, Ali.
And welcome to Let's Be Frank. Today I wanted to ask Herman about something that brings him joy, maybe not every time. I don't know, something that makes him happy or that he enjoys doing in his spare time. And that is the wonderful game of golf, the gentleman's game of golf.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. And as you pointed out, it's something that brings me a lot of joy.
Sometimes.
But sometimes. But yeah, it's also interesting because I'm a terrible golfer to begin with.
Compared to who? Compared to Tiger Woods, maybe. Compared to me, probably you're brilliant.
No, but I mean something that I spend quite a bit of time doing, and I think for most golfers it's about, I want to see improvement. But anyway, so I went through a phase where I really didn't play well. Obviously, first thing to mention there is that I don't put in the effort to practice. Because finding the time to practice is not always that easy, and if you have a choice on the weekend, am I going to go and play a round of golf, or am I going to go to the driving range and just practice? Well,
you'd rather play the round.
Then you go play the round.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got to a point where it became a little bit frustrating, and you think of ways in which you can improve it, and I kind of came across this wonderful little book called Zen Golf.
I thought you were going to talk about Adam Young.
No, I mean Adam Young's book is brilliant, but that's all about practice.
Yeah.
Putting in the effort and the practice. But really, listening, it's written by a gentleman called Dr.Joseph. He's a psychologist, I think. But he's also a follower of Zen philosophy and meditation and so on. And bringing those two together, and some really wonderful little things.
Sounds like an oxymoron. Zen golf.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it, but you see all of these guys getting very frustrated and throwing their clubs, and it's not really thought of as a very Zen sport.
Which, by the way, I am a firm believer that those pros that do that should be fined.
Yeah.
There was a recent incident in one tournament where one of the pros chucked his driver into the lake. Okay, he hit 3 shit shots, all 3 of them out of bounds, and then he throws an expensive club into
I'm sure,
a lake.
probably in the thousands, 5,000, 6,000, more than that.
Yeah.
Dollars.
Well, no. So, and then in the same tournament, another pro snapped the shaft of one of his wedges over his knee after hitting a shit shot.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't matter how you look at it, it's never the club's problem. And I think it's a bad example.
Yeah.
It is, equipment is expensive, but those guys don't pay for the equipment.
Yeah, they get
sponsored.
Surely they would get fined then by their sponsors? No. They just hand them a new one and say, sorry about that.
They just give them a new one. They just go to, there's a big truck at every tournament, and the guys walk in there and say, this one didn't work for me, or whatever the case may be, and they get made to their specification a brand new club.
Wow.
So I do believe that those guys should be, for that kind of behavior, they should be fined. It doesn't set a good example anyway. So personally, I've never thrown a club. I've never blamed my club for I just don't see.
So maybe a bit of self-blame, but
yes. So that's the one thing about golf is no golfer will tolerate anyone calling him or her the things that they call themselves on the golf course.
Okay. Not very kind to ourselves.
No, we're not very kind to ourselves. Anyway, so The great thing about this short little book, I mean, I've listened to it 4 times. I'm a slow learner. I've listened to it 4 times.
Yeah.
Because the principles are so great. And then obviously you think about this, and it's also mentioned in the book about this is not just about so many of these principles you can apply in normal life. You know?
Yeah.
And that's really been fascinating. So some of the since I started applying that, my scores haven't improved dramatically.
Yeah.
But I have been enjoying it a hell of a lot more.
Well, that's kind of the point, isn't it?
That is
Something
the point.
That you should be enjoying.
Correct.
Yeah.
You don't. I think it's in the book. It may have been somewhere else that I read. It's in the book. You don't play golf to relax. You relax to play golf.
Yeah.
So and often you see that on the golf course.
Yeah.
People that you play with or so that really frustrated, and they walk off there, and you think, wow, why?
Why did you just
So
wait 4 hours of
yeah, why did you just waste? So and one of the things is, I mean, just before I read the book, I played a round of golf where, I don't know, by the 6th or the 7th hole, I thought to myself, I am after 9 holes, when I'm back at the kind of clubhouse and close to my car, I'm just going to take my stuff and go. Which I didn't do because that's not really sportsmanlike. And, but I was frustrated.
Yeah, and you weren't enjoying yourself.
I wasn't enjoying myself. I was really playing bad. And it's probably one of the events that led me to, hey, as soon as I heard about this book on a podcast, Eric Anders Lang, anybody who's remotely interested in golf, I highly recommend following his YouTube channel and listening to his podcast. He's got a very interesting story as well. Anyway, so as soon as I heard about the book, and Jason also listened to the same podcast and mentioned it, started applying those things, and it's really made a huge difference for me.
So what are some of the principles that they...
So some of the principles are that, I mean, he talks about the preparation. So before you hit a shot, and this is something that you can really easily apply to any situation in life. This is what is the preparation that you do. So you kind of look at the distance, you look at kind of the slope, etc. Where do you want to hit this ball? And kind of concluding your preparation before you address the ball. And the next one is action. So once you're there, you've done your preparation, you know what you want to do, you've picked the club. The action is something which is, I don't know, is something that you don't think too much about while you're doing it. And then extremely important is the response to the result. Okay, because once the golf ball's in the air,
once the club has hit it,
exactly, you know, it's literally a millisecond that the club and the ball are kind of connected, and from there on, well, you have absolutely no further control over it.
Yeah.
Although most golfers think that standing there,
praying,
shouting, giving the ball directions is going to make a difference. But anyway, so your response to results, and think about this, how often and now you can apply that into so many other areas of your life, your response to results. So instead of, and it's usually at that point where people start calling themselves names. I'm sure that there are times where I've referred to myself as a fucking idiot about 50 times plus in a round of golf. So now I stopped doing that completely. Find a phrase, and my phrase is that's interesting. I think it's actually the phrase that he mentions in the
Okay.
book as well. But I've adopted that, and then wherever that ball goes, instead of getting upset about it, I say that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then all you can do is you can reflect on, well, what could have caused that? I mean, if it was a slice or a hook or
Yeah.
whatever, what in terms of my action could have caused that?
Yeah.
But it's not about on the next hole still complaining about that bad shot
Yeah.
that you hit.
Got to learn from the
And again,
mistakes.
Absolutely. Again,
Yeah.
you can see how this can be applied in so many other
Yeah.
areas of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been a really fascinating little journey that I've been on. And as I say, I've listened to the book 4 times.
Do you think it would be relevant to non-golfers?
I think so.
Yeah.
I certainly think that it'll obviously be a little bit easier if you enjoy golf or sport in
Understand,
general.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many of these little things that you can apply to your life.
Yeah.
It's some of the things that we talk about so often in terms of your mindset, meditation,
Line
being
of
calm,
insanity.
the line of insanity, those things
Yeah.
that you can and can't control.
Yeah.
And there are many of those factors in any, I suppose, in any sport and in any situation where you do what you can do, and thereafter you have absolutely no control.
Yeah.
So if you think about a putt, for example, again, once the ball has gone off, you may have picked the perfect line, but your pace is just a little bit off. Or even if you hit the perfect line and the perfect pace,
Wind.
you talk about there's wind
Yeah.
which you don't have any
Yeah.
control over.
Yeah.
A little blade of grass, a small stone or something that you didn't see, and then you just have to accept it,
Yeah.
like so many other things
Yeah.
in life where you just have to. So that's been really fascinating, and I as I say, I enjoy it a hell of a lot more. My skill level hasn't improved much. But I think, and what I will do is obviously over the next few months, I will be able to determine whether just following those principles and focusing more on the mental side of it has a positive effect on my scores.
Yeah.
And I definitely apply those lessons to other things in my life as well. Strong correlation between, as I mentioned, a whole host of other things that we talk about often, and that I believe to be very true. But yeah, it's been a fascinating little journey.
Well, that's cool. Thanks for sharing it with us, and let us know in a few weeks or months' time whether it has had an impact on your score. Maybe let us know today.
I've already started my mental preparation for this afternoon.
Good luck, and yeah, thank you for sharing with us, and we'll chat again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.